I'm not doing the stream though. Don't you just? This is just the full screen.
What number does it say?
2.
What number does it say?
Something about Nick Mitchell's defense. Okay.
hole set, his second goal. Working around the shot to goal. Dolores again. Rise up from the 5-meter line and score! Wow! And that's it. Golden West College, water polo champions in a classic here at Golden West. A 10-9 win over Long Beach City College. And we welcome you to the campus of Golden West College for Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com today. A non-conference matchup featuring the Palomar College Comets and the hometown Golden West College Rustlers. Jeff Swinoff, Mike Cepeda with you from Huntington Beach. And Michael, both teams emerged from week one with victories for the Rustlers. It was a little bit harrowing at first as the Pirates went right down the field on the opening drive. But after that, boy, oh boy, Nick Mitchell's defense really locked in and shut him down the rest of the way.
Yeah, if anything, it was probably the best thing that could have happened to him. An opening drive touchdown for Orange Coast, and the Rustler defense, you had a feeling that there was something going on the sideline with a lot of fire from Coach Mitchell and company.
Well, they got the message after that opening drive. There's no question about it. On the offensive side of the ball, it was an impressive debut for freshman quarterback Malachi Martinez, who led the way, both throwing the football and running the football.
Yeah, the big question for Golden West coming in was who was going to replace the likes of Jake Retzlaff from last year. We went to Riverside, and that's going to be a key showdown later in the year. We'll have that for you here on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Coast Sports Network. He was just fine. The freshman came in. He was the most consistent in camp. Turns out he's an absolute stud.
Yeah, absolutely. In both areas of the game, we're going to step aside for the national anthem, rejoin you for kickoff Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com. And we welcome you back to Golden West College, moments away from the opening kick, week 2, getting underway with Palomar and Golden West here on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Co Sports Network.
Here are the officials for today's game. The referee is Daniel Mina.
Yeah, happy to be broadcasting here simultaneously on YouTube and SoCal College Sports along with the Co Sports Network. And Jeff, continue our conversation on Malachi Martinez. Mission accomplished. The shoes have been filled. He was an absolute stud through the air. Oh, by the way, he's got some weapons. Sarmiento and Kennewell, a couple touchdowns last week.
Yeah, a piece, as Martinez really filled it up.
Yeah, and hey, he also had one where he broke the ankles of a defender en route to 6. So, hey, it's going to look pretty good. Week 1, but now it gets a little tougher. Palomar also in the National Conference. You switch over back to your normal level of competition, and it'll be another test for the freshmen.
Yeah, the Comets coming off their first winning season a year ago. Since 2014, they went 6-5 in that campaign and looking to continue that momentum into 2022 under longtime head coach Joe Early. The Rustlers won the toss and elected to defer, so the Comets will be on offense to get things going. The opening kick taken at the goal line, out past the 30 and to the 32-yard line.
Pretty solid return there for Palomar, and we saw that last week. The opening kickoff for Orange Coast, that was returned past midfield, a little bit better this time, but probably something that Coach Nick Mitchell wants to shore up.
Yeah, going back to last week, I should say Palomar struggled, or I should say excelled in kick returns, nearly 40 yards a return in the victory at Victor Valley. So that figures to be a weapon. It is at the start with the 34-yard return by Omarion Ireland. And we will see Kaya Reed lead the offense. 3 different quarterbacks played for the Comets in their Week 1 victory at Victor Valley. So who knows what we'll see. Alex Hill in motion. They'll keep it on the ground on first down, and Vasquez quickly swallows up the ball carrier for a loss on the play. It was Luke Armstrong who got the call, and he lost at least a yard. Well, they'll give him a pretty good spot and get it back to the 34. So it'll be 2nd down and 10, but Vasquez from his defensive end spot quickly in the backfield. It is incredibly difficult to run the football against the Rustlers under the best of conditions.
Yeah, it doesn't matter because that linebacking core is on fire, led by Kylan Neal. We see him on the left edge.
Quick throw. Hill has the catch. Out past the 35. Falls forward to the 39 for a gain of 5. That is a 3rd down and 5 coming up for the Comets. The Comets were 5 of 13 on 3rd down last week in the win over Victor Valley. We talked about Golden West getting in a hole early. Palomar really dug themselves a hole, falling behind 17-0 in the first quarter at Victor Valley, but they showed impressive resolve, coming back with 41 unanswered en route to the 41-17 win. So that's a heck of a start for Joe Early's squad, but it'll get a lot tougher here today as they continue on the road here at Golden West. 3rd down and 10 after a false start penalty against the Comets. Neither of these teams among the most penalized teams, generally speaking. Palomar had 10 last week in the victory at Victor Valley. That's not an especially high number. Delayed blitz coming. Reed in some trouble. He's going to be sacked back inside the 30. Vasquez getting there along with Austin Gerbich. Breakdown on the offensive line, but that starts with some good coverage as well. Not a lot of spots for Reed to go with the football, and eventually he just has to eat it. Back at the 28, going back to last year, the Rustlers with a staggering stat, 47 sacks as a team, and they allowed just 8. So they know how to get after the quarterback, and they do so there. Quick 3-and-out, pressure on Ogles, who gets the kick away. Fair catch made at the 38, and when we return, we'll see the Rustlers on offense for the first time today. No score, early going Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Coast Sports Network.
1st and 10 Golden West at their own 38. The quarterback for the Rustlers is number 3, Malachi Martinez.
So we'll see Malachi Martinez for the first time. Sarmiento, Caleb Docknall to the left side as the Rustlers come out in a 4-wide receiver set. Martinez looks to throw quick out, complete to Docknall, who slips out of a tackle. He's over midfield and into Comet territory.
Docknall with a pretty bad drop last week, and he was able to redeem himself somewhat during the game after the drop, but dropped a sure touchdown at the goal line. Malachi Martinez was robbed.
And I wonder if it's not a particular surprise here that the first play goes to Docknall, and that is, really coaching 101 that we see all the time. Off of a play like that, you want to give him a chance to get right back on the horse, make a play, and he makes the catch there and gets the immediate first down. Liebeer on the carry for a short gain, a pickup of a couple, and a 2nd and 8 coming up.
And getting to Liebeer. Liebeer last week was fantastic, not only on the ground, but catching the ball as well, providing an extra outlet of relief in the passing game for Martinez.
He's a freshman out of Linwood, Washington. 2nd down and 8. Martinez with a quick throw in the flat, completes. This is Savau, who slips out of a tackle. Bouncing off tacklers, he's got the first down. Eventually brought down by Devin Dye.
Savau with the type of size and speed at the tight end position. His brother last year, Cody Savau, in that linebacking core.
What a playmaker.
Unbelievable.
Led the team in interceptions from his linebacker spot. And now they're down to just Robbie in the Savau family here at Golden West, but Savau will no doubt continue to carry the mantle here in 2022. I formation, trouble in the backfield, and Liebeer hit behind the line, a loss on the play.
Yeah, it's a tough snap there.
Quickly in the backfield, it was Sear Jaden Barnes who takes advantage of the difficulties the Rustlers were having with the exchange. Gets the tackle for a 3-yard loss. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 13. The Rustlers on their opening drive. Just underway. 11-14 and counting remaining in the opening quarter. Happy you've joined us for Rustler football. Martinez moves to his left, now throws and completes on the sideline. Big hit from Marquise Bell, but not before Sarmiento makes the catch. Out of bounds at the 32. That's good enough to move the chains again. Nope, he is a little bit short, about 3 yards. So a 3rd down and 3. They need the 29. They have it at the Palomar 32.
Yeah, initially it looked like he was going to turn up the field, and he was met by a couple of white jerseys. Knocked him back. 3rd and 3 now.
Martinez wants to move quickly. Receivers left and right. Liebeer continues in the backfield. Martinez looking right, guns it on the slant. Kennewell with his first catch.
When in doubt, go to Kennewell.
Working against Jaden Ireland. That's a 21-yard gain, and Jaden Ireland, a huge play in the victory over Victor Valley. Early in the 2nd quarter, Victor Valley with the 17-0 lead and the ball. Ireland comes up with the interception, returns it for a touchdown, completely changes the game. And from that point forward, the Comets stormed back and ended up pulling away for the win, but that's a massive play. Martinez under pressure, stops, fires on the far sideline. Catch is made by Sarmiento. That's a terrific job inside the 5, down to the 2. Now the Rustlers are at the doorstep. Martinez extremely sharp on this opening drive. Completed all of his passes so far, and now the Rustlers have it 1st and goal. Quickly the handoff to Liebeer. No, it's Martinez on the keeper. Terrific job in misdirection. They fake it to Liebeer, and Liebeer has to absorb the big hit. And it's Martinez who gets the glory. Watch this again on the replay. That is as well executed as you can do on that play.
2nd rushing touchdown. We'll have another couple angles of it here. That's just a great sell. You see the linebacker come over the top. Wrong assignment. He faked out the camera guy.
I'm telling you, Mike, give Liebeer a game ball just for taking that hit on that play.
Pretty good shot of it here.
And Martinez just walks it in. Cypress on for the extra point and converts. 9:45 to go in the opening quarter. The Rustlers on their first drive take it the route and grab the 7-0 lead here on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Ball taken inside the 2. Omarion Ireland on the return, weaves his way forward, and he's taken down at the 28-yard line, a 26-yard return. And the Comets back on offense, trailing at 7-0. Well, the margin for error just so small if you're Palomar coming in here looking to pull what would have to be considered at least a mild upset to beat this Golden West team. It's such a well-coached and veteran defensive squad, and now you're down 7-0 against the Nick Mitchell-led defense. It's going to be very difficult to get things done. You got very low margin for error.
To quote Liam Neeson from Taken, good luck.
4 wide receivers set. Reed against the 4-man rush, finds a man. First down yardage for Palomar as he completes it to Logan Loudy. Working on that near sideline. Hit and brought down by the safety Akili Hubbard. But not before the Comets get the 45-yard line and a first down.
That's a great job by Reed finding the window. Past the linebackers and up above the safety, puts it in the sweet spot. It's a first down.
Des Taua in the backfield. 3 wide receivers stacked to the far side. Now they'll empty the backfield on 1st and 10. Quick screen, looking for Hill. Ridden out of bounds after a gain of about 3.
Alex Hill with the reception.
Kylan Neal forced him out of bounds. Second down and 7. Reed a week ago was 8 for 22. 117 yards and a touchdown. Also had 21 yards rushing and a couple of touchdowns running in the win. But as I said earlier, 3 quarterbacks played, including defensive back Isaac Madrigal. So we'll see what Joe Early has in mind. Under pressure is Reed, now looking to scramble, has some room on the left side, looking for the first down marker, and appears to have it. Out to the 44-yard line of Golden West. A couple of first downs for the Comets on the second drive. And early on, you have the sense that this becomes an important drive for the Comets to settle in. It's a Rustler team that plays with a ton of confidence at home, coming off a sensational season a year ago and returning an awful lot of that team, especially on defense. So this is a confident team that plays at the top of the SCFA, and you don't want to let them run away and hide. So the Comets would love to answer back immediately. Showing blitz on 1st and 10. Another quick throw in the flat, shoestring catch, incomplete. He was looking for Apana, Kale Apana. Couldn't quite pull it off the turf, and it'll be 2nd down and 10. Interestingly, that was the first incompletion for Reed in the game as well. On the opening drive, he was sacked on 3rd down. But other than that, he had completed all of his passes until that one. 2nd down and 10. Taua remains in the game in the backfield. Another quick throw, working it short to Hill. Hill hit and brought down by Neal at the Golden West 39. A gain of 5 brings up a 3rd down and 5. 7:46 and counting remaining here in the first quarter from Golden West College. The Rustlers with the early 7-0 lead. Well, the Comets have been content to work the short passes on this second drive. And so far to good effect. Here comes the blitz on 3rd and 5. Reed stands in, and that one knocked down incomplete. What a great job defensively. That was Jakari Embry. And we'll show you the replay here, I suspect, as Embry doing a little chirping after that play, and why not? That's a tremendous play on 3rd and 5.
Have a pretty good look of it here. Just comes over the top. And
right over the top.
Yeah.
Again, they wanted Apana. And Apana wanted the flag. 4th and 5, and the Comets will line up to go for it. Last week, Palomar did not attempt to go for it on 4th down in the game. It's the first time on the season. And it's something of a risk from head coach Joe Early. From the 39, no, it's a quick kick on the near side. Inside the 5 and down near the goal line. This one going to be down inside the 5 by Taua at the 2-yard line. That is a tremendous job on the quick kick, 37-yard punt, and the Rustlers will take over in the shadow of their own goalpost for their second drive, leading it 7-0.
Replay last event to output. Auto replay? No. It's replay last event to output.
First and 10, Golden West after 2.
We'll take you back to the quick kick. Or no, this is rather Reed and the play by Embry getting a hand in. And that killed the drive. First down carry for minimal gain. Perhaps a yard for Lybeer. It'll bring up a 2nd down and 9.
I wonder if right now we see one of those patented jet sweeps for the Rustlers. Sarmiento so quick off the edge.
He is lined up on the left side with Kennewell on the right. Savau in the slot on 2nd and 9. Martinez surveys the defense. 4-man rush, quick throw to the right, complete. And modest gain, maybe the 5-yard line. It's going to bring up a 3rd down and 7. Another catch for Sarmiento. Already his 3rd catch here in the first quarter. And a big 3rd down coming up, a 3rd and 7 from the 5. Wouldn't the Comets love to get off the field with a quick 3 and out?
Well, Jeff, you said special teams shine last week for Palomar. Certainly right now on this last possession in the kicking game, a chance to flip the field and get terrific field position if they can get off the field.
Martinez looking left, pressure comes, stepping up, still scrambling. Martinez going to tuck it and run, breaks one tackle, but Bell wraps him up shy of the 1st down marker, and the Comets are going to get the 3 and out they were looking for. There is a flag now. You wonder if this might be a holding call. Often when you see a long scramble, it is so difficult to maintain the blocks.
I think it's a face mask against Palomar.
Oh, it's a huge call. What a break for the Rustlers. I don't know if it was on the tackle. You saw Bell and Sir Jaden Barnes. But this is not only going to give the Rustlers 15 yards, but of substantially more import. It's going to give them a fresh set of downs.
Shiloh Sayal, I think they whistled for the penalty. No, 96, excuse me.
Okay, so
Eric Russell.
It was not on the tackle. It was Russell, the defensive lineman. That's a killer for the Comets, who thought they were on their way off the field. Instead, Lybeer, inside handoff, and perhaps got back to the line. Barnes, who's been busy in this first quarter, again among the first to get there. They'll give Lybeer the 24-yard line. That's a gain of a couple, and a 2nd and 8. Coming up, Rustlers will now look to take advantage of that big penalty on 3rd down.
Yeah, this is house money right here.
Martinez hit as he throws, and Martinez still down now, getting to his feet. Russell in his face. Looked like he got a piece of his arm as it was coming forward.
Well, let's see. Did the ball come out? We have a pretty good look of it here. Yeah, I mean, the arm's moving forward.
Edge rush from Russell. And you saw the speed. He's working over there against Trent Light.
Bit of redemption for Russell.
Excuse me, I believe I misspoke. He's coming off the end against Hayden Harlan. The right tackle. Martinez on the keeper. Weaves his way forward to the 27, a gain of 3. And it will bring up 4th down once again, and now we will see the Rustler punting unit. Well, the Comets may not come away with the field position they were hoping for, but they do get off the field. 4:31 and counting remaining in the first quarter with the Rustlers on top 7-0.
Justin Hintz back to kick for the Rustlers.
Yeah, you see Hintz. Sometimes we see Cypress as well, but it'll be Hintz who will handle this one for the Rustlers.
I believe Hintz with an interception last week.
Isaiah Davis set to return the kick. Low kick, big hop. Davis from the 29, hit immediately. And brought down at the
Neal?
28.
Kylan Neal.
Flying down the field, and Davis wanted to set up the return. Let's watch this one from field level.
Hair on fire. Neal quickly to the ball carrier.
Yeah, that looked like it took a nice hop for Davis to perhaps set up some kind of return, but Neal said, I don't think so. 1 yard loss on the return.
I don't think so, Comets.
And Palomar will start from their 28-yard line. Armstrong back in the game in the backfield as Kaya Reed brings the Comet offense on the field. Reed with time in the flat, has the completion. Ikaika Bell with the reception. Out to the 35. A gain of 7 and a second and short coming up for the Comets. And interesting to watch the Comets offensively sticking almost exclusively to short throws, and that is both a nod to the pass rush for the Rustlers, but you have to suspect that this is also how the Comets want to attempt to run the football against the Rustlers, who last week surrendered just 11 yards rushing in 21 carries against Orange Coast. That is 0.5 yards a carry. So this is a very difficult team against whom to run the ball. And it looks like the Comets are making an effort to get the ball out quickly and in space to, in effect, generate a running game that way. 3rd down and 2 after the short completion to Hill. Handoff to Armstrong, running left, in some trouble. He is going to be hit behind the line and dropped. Loss on the play will bring up 4th down. And the Rustlers get the quick 3 and out, and they'll get it back. Yeah, so far with that carry by Armstrong, 4 carries in the game for Palomar for right around 0 yards. It'll come down to whether or not Armstrong gets a loss of 1 or 2 on that play. Either way, after getting it to a 2nd and short, the Comets cannot convert and will have to punt it away. Ogles gets this one away, takes a good bounce for the Comets inside the Rustler 30. They'll spot it at the 29, and with 2:14 to go in the first quarter, the Rustlers will go back on offense, leading at 7-0. These two teams, of course, have a pretty good amount of history. A long time battling each other in the same division in the National Conference. In the South, 3 years ago, Palomar makes the move to the Central, which I thought was interesting. Palomar in the Central, Golden West in the South. But hey, listen, in the NFL, if you can have Atlanta and New Orleans in the NFC West for years and Dallas in the NFC East, clearly when it comes to football, geography is not the be-all and end-all of the story. Nonetheless, now they meet as non-conference foes. Second meeting in as many years. They met last year at Palomar. That was a dominating performance by the Rustlers, a 31-3 win. Over the middle, looking for Kenwell in the pass behind him. Incomplete, quickly 3rd and 9 for the Rustlers. The Rustlers have had their way in this matchup of late. 6 wins in a row in the series. The last win for Palomar came back in 2012. So they're looking to break the streak, but it's going to be a tough assignment to do it today. 3rd down and 9. Martinez moves Liebeer, now ready to go. Under pressure, they try to set up the screen, and the Comets were all over it. Ricky Davis Jr. lowers the boom. No chance for Liebeer. No gain on the play, and a quick 3 and out for the Rustlers. And now the Comets will get it back with 1:17 and counting remaining here in the opening quarter. Well, after that opening drive by the Rustlers, it's been the defenses on both sides that have controlled the action so far. Hintz has the snap. Low line drive kick. Davis takes it at the 32. He's over the 35. Stiff arms a man at the 40, but then absorbs a big hit at the 41-yard line. 9-yard return. Good field position for the Comets. Jordan Palomino coming up to bring down Isaiah Davis. And not a big surprise. They're hitting out there. That was another big hit by Palomino after the 10-yard return from Davis. Under a minute to go in the opening quarter. We're at 51 seconds. Dual setbacks for the Comets on 1st and 10 from the 32. Play action, batted in the air and incomplete. Elijah Martin getting into the backfield quickly. Excuse me, I believe that was Zach Afina. And Kylan Neal coming on the blitz. Comets looking to set up the quick throw. But that's a great job by the Rustlers on that defensive line, getting their hands up. The breakup leaves 2nd and 10. Blitz coming. Good protection. Looking on the quick slant for Brooks. And the pass incomplete. Brooks led the way for Palomar last week with 5 catches for 68 yards. I believe that was the first target for Tajay Brooks in the game here today. The incompletion brings up a quick 3rd and 10 for Palomar. Unsurprisingly, both teams, particularly Palomar, struggling on 3rd down. They're 0 of 3 in the game. And they face a 3rd and 10 here. Receivers left and right for Reed. Deep drop for Reed. Has time. Guns it over the middle. Off the hands of his intended target. He was going back to Brooks. And that's a ball that Tajay Brooks would love to have back. This is a good throw from Reed. As Brooks working over the middle. Well, a little bit behind him. But Brooks got his hands on it. Couldn't secure it. The incompletion brings up 4th down. Short drive for the Comets. All of about 14 seconds. High snap over the head of Ogles. Does manage to pick it up, looking for some room to get the kickoff. Not going to be able to do it. Tries to get a pass off. They're still playing. I got to believe this is an incomplete pass. And not a fumble, but either way, this is a huge play for the Rustlers on special teams. A big miscue for the Comets. And a short field coming up for the Rustlers. Boy, that's a killer. If you're the Comets, especially the way their defense had been playing, if you can make them at least go for a long field, you like your chances a little bit better, but this gives them the short field as the snap over the head of Landon Ogles. And Ogles, for a moment there, Michael, I thought Ogles might have had a lane to get that kick off, but he couldn't quite get himself lined up to do it. Instead, he ends up trying to get off a pass. The Rustlers are going to have it at the 42-yard line after the pass, of course, ruled incomplete.
Yeah, not the worst result in the world, but obviously if he could have been able to line up a kick, get one off.
Martinez looking left, throws, completes to Docknall. Couple of yards shy of the 1st down marker, out of bounds at the 35. 7-yard gain brings up a 2nd down and short for the Rustlers.
You know, Martinez looked very good last week, but at times earlier in the game, you could see the wheels were turning, and towards the end of the game, it had slowed down immensely. I wonder if we're going to see that same progression throughout. That'll do it for the 1st quarter.
End of 1, Golden West on top, 7-0. You are watching Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Coast Sports Network. Start of the second quarter, and a second down and 3 for the Rustlers from the Palomar 35-yard line. Golden West with the 7-0 lead. The 1-yard touchdown run by Malachi Martinez. Already his second rushing touchdown of the season. Mentioned his strong play a week ago, Michael. 17 of 26 for 307 yards and 4 touchdowns. Not a bad debut. Taking over for Jake Retzlaff. Speaking of impressive debuts, how about Jake Retzlaff and the job he
Player
did
of the week. Jeez.
at Riverside City College as he heads over to the Tigers for his sophomore season. Play action, the throw over the middle, incomplete. Too high for Saval. 3rd and 3 coming up for Golden West. 529 yards. What was it, about 17 touchdowns? I think it was 5 or 6 in the game. I guess that's how you win.
I was putting my name into the hat for Malachi Martinez. Then I saw Retzlaff's stat line. I wonder if Retzlaff saw that stat line and said, you know what? Hold my beer. or I guess hold my Gatorade.
Taking over against a very solid Mount San Jacinto team that's one of the best teams in the American Conference.
Yeah,
over the last
American a year ago.
Over the last several years, indeed. The throw over the middle, Kennewell with the catch inside the 20. Hit and brought down at the 11. Bell and Dye on the stop, but Kennewell with his second catch up to 45 yards receiving in the game after that 24-yard reception. And you got to like the way that Kennewell works downfield. We've seen a lot of short throws from both sides in this game, but Kennewell, certainly the one deep threat that we've seen so far from these two teams.
Kennewell with pretty good speed. He's the Cooper Kupp of this offense. Surgical precision routes. And if Martinez can deliver, they're going to do big things this season.
Read option rather than Libier, hit behind the line. Going to be a short loss on the play. A loss of 3 will bring up a 2nd down and 13. Comets have done a tremendous job against the run, and really a tremendous job containing Malachi Martinez in the running game so far. But Martinez, 9 of 12 for 96 yards through the air, and that's been the storyline for the Rustlers in this 7-0 lead. 2nd down and 13. Quick throw on the left, complete. Short gain on the play. No, Sarmiento still on his feet, but they are going to wrap him up and bring him down.
Robert Sarmiento with the reception.
Monty Hunt with the stop. Sarmiento, modest gain on the play, maybe a yard, and a 3rd and long coming up for Golden West.
The moment of truth there for Doc Knoll. If you look at it, this is not something that's going to show up in the stat box. He has an opportunity to make a block, but it would have been a block in the back, and it would have been going the wrong way for the Rustlers. He elects to just try to get in the way, but doesn't make contact with the defender. Thus, it's not a 10-yard loss. It's just a loss of down, and still in striking position for the end zone.
Golden West always among the least penalized teams in the SCFA. They had just 7 penalties a week ago in the win over Orange Coast. Whistles on the snap.
Classic announcer jinx.
Well, you know how good I am at it.
Well, hey, you're in mid-season form.
Well, let's see how it turns out. Early on, though, it appears that indeed I am in mid-season form. False start, backs him up 5 yards. Now it is 3rd down and forever. The Rustlers need the 2-yard line for a 1st down. Martinez, deep drop, has time, rainbows the near side. Bell the only one there. And the pass incomplete. Marquise Bell can't bring it down inbounds. And the Rustlers catch a break that one is only incomplete. Hard to say. Martinez might not have been on the same page. Looked like he was looking for Sarmiento, but way too much air under that ball. Bell wanted the pick, but couldn't come up with it. 4th down, and we will see the field goal unit.
And this is Hintz.
So Hintz is going to take this attempt rather than Cypress, who we've seen over the last year plus.
It wouldn't shock me to see a fake here.
This will come from the left hash. Snap, placement down, kick away.
Good.
And Hinsey drills it. The field goal pushes the lead to 10-0. 12:31 remaining in the 1st half. It's Golden West College football on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Coast Sports Network.
6, touchdown, Rustler.
Deep to right field, and it's over the head of Marquez. That's going to score a run.
Announcers up.
Brown and Ireland back deep for the Comets, who now trail at 10-0. Ireland working back to his right, tripped up. Shy of the 20, they'll spot it at the 19.
Ireland with the return.
Palomar will take over after the very short return. Now trailing at 10-0. And they've had some moments here in this first half offensively, but haven't been able to string much of anything together in the way of a lengthy drive. Certainly not anything leading to points, as the Rustlers are pitching a shutout so far. 12:25 remaining in the first half. Kaya Reed back on in the backfield with Dorian Richardson. And it's Richardson who gets it on the screen, tripped up. Perhaps a gain of a yard. Wyatt Potter, the freshman out of Coeur d'Alene High School, with the stop on Richardson. 2nd and 9. And the Comets continuing to work almost exclusively with the short pass. And you wonder, will Joe Early take a shot downfield at some point? Reed on a designed roll. Here it comes. Looking deep. Had Alex Hill open by a yard or two, but the ball overshoots the receiver. And the Rustlers dodge a bullet, and now it's 3rd and 9. Well, it was well set up. A little over a quarter, working quick passes. And finally, the Comets take a shot downfield, and Hill had gotten beyond his defender. But the pass too strong from Reed, incomplete, and now it's 3rd and 9. Reed has the snap, 4-man rush. Reed under pressure, slips out of one tackle, now has running room on the left side. Heading for the 30 and heading out of bounds. But a scramble of 12 yards is good enough for a first down and brings it to the 32. Well, they got to Reed but couldn't wrap him up. Martin bringing the pressure from his defensive end spot. But a good job by Kaya Reed, slipping away and then picking up the first down. Reed sets up in the pocket, takes another shot downfield. Well covered. Looking for Apana. Xavier Streeter, the returning sophomore, had the coverage. No room for Reed to get that ball in. 2nd down and 10. Dorian Lewis in the backfield for the Comets. The Comets, in addition to rotating quarterbacks a week ago, rotated ball carriers as well. 4 different running backs saw carries in the game. Pump fake, throws over the middle, nearly intercepted. Looking for Brooks.
You have it on 3?
Henry Powers had his mitts on it, but couldn't bring it in. Nonetheless, 3rd and 10 for the Comets, who are 1 of 5 on 3rd down. But they are currently on a streak, having picked up their last 3rd down earlier in this drive. Snap to Reed. Has time, throws. Hill goes high up to get it. Hit immediately. Gain of a yard on the play. Well shy of first down yardage. As Jakari Embry with the quick hit. Watch Hill get up there. Makes the impressive catch. But no nowhere close to the first down. Brings up fourth down. Here comes Landon Ogles and the Palomar punting unit. Good snap to Ogles. Low kick.
Flag.
Flag down. Sarmiento takes it on the hop. Gets to the 28-yard line, but let's see what the flag is. Our referee today, Daniel Mina.
It's going to be running into the kicker.
Well, they've been bringing the pressure on Ogles all day, and I don't know if we have the replay of that. But they have been in Ogles' face all day. But this potentially a big call for Palomar, as that would get them the ball back.
See the replay here.
Let's take you back. And again, they're getting the pressure and, yeah, through the blocks, but and Ogles surrounded, really not able to finish his motion. And down he goes. And that's going to get you the flag every time. So big call against the Rustlers.
It's going to get them the flag, but only of the 5-yard variety, not the personal foul.
Okay.
So they're going to decline because they like the result of the punt. They'll take the result of the field position here. Golden West will be on offense.
Interesting. Is that a new rule this year? I thought they had been doing always the 15-yarder at this level in recent years.
I think it's at the discretion of the referee. If he thinks it was something where it was malicious and they were running in,
yeah,
they'll give them the 15. But if it's something where it's kind of incidental, they couldn't really control themselves, they were trying to, they'll give them the 5.
I think in our coverage, I'm not sure that I'd ever seen a 5-yard call there. I think even when it clearly wasn't malicious, they went with the 15 just because that player is so vulnerable that they make the decision to make that a more severe penalty. Short gain on the carry by Lieber.
I wonder if President of the SCFA, Tom Gain, would have an answer to that question. I'm sure he would.
Yes, well, I'm sure he'd have an answer. I don't know if we have him here.
Well, no, I'm just I'm trying to plug the possibility of a remote call.
Right. Well, they say no. I like where your head's at. I mean, I'm with you.
Who is it? Dean Blandino they bring in on Fox on an officiating question.
Hey, listen, that's what we need. Martinez looking deep, throws into double coverage, and that went incomplete. He was looking for Docknall, but the coverage was there. Ireland and Ricky Davis Jr. both there. Not much chance to get that ball to Docknall, and it's quickly 3rd and 8. And Michael. The Rustlers, they have the 10-0 lead. They're comfortable here, but something a little disconcerting right now. I think if you're a Golden West fan, this Comet defense has come to play, and the Rustlers are having a difficult job really sustaining any kind of offense.
The speed's a little different from what they saw last week, and Malachi Martinez not exactly making the right reads. He throws a bomb into double coverage there. He had Savao over the middle for a modest game.
Quick throw looking for Kennewell. Off his fingertips.
And there's another pass right there where he leads Kennewell, and that could have been a huge Ronnie Lott-esque hit. And luckily, Kennewell does a good job of being able to avoid that kind of contact, but it's 3 and out. Here come the Comets.
Well, Masato Thompson has the hit. Now, I think that Kennewell hears the footsteps there, but I think Kennewell hears the footsteps there for good reason. If he goes for that ball, Thompson's right in that area, and I think he's just trying to make that grab and then brace himself for the hit coming from Thompson that he knows is coming. Yeah. Couldn't quite bring it in, and I think you're on it there. Martinez just doesn't put that ball in a great spot for Kennewell. 4th down and 8. Quick kick away. Takes a Rustler bounce. Davis scoops it up at the 30. Circles to his right, bounces off a couple of tacklers and falls forward to the 34. 5-yard return. Comets back on offense with 9:30 to go in the first half. That's a good job by Isaiah Davis on a ball that is not easy to handle. Right there, as that one is rolling and bouncing along the ground, and you got defenders bearing down on you, and Davis, sure-handed, scoops it up and gets about 6 yards on the return. Takes it to the 35. Well, it's so tough if you're the Comets in this situation, what do? You're having all kinds of trouble running the football. The Rustlers do such a good job of turning you into a one-dimensional offense. They'll keep it on the ground on first down with Dorian Lewis and a gain of a couple.
2-yard gain, second down.
Both these teams did such a good job a week ago. Mentioned that Orange Coast College here at Golden West averaged less than a yard a carry, but Victor Valley at home against Palomar as a team averaged only about 1.4 yards a carry. And we've seen that carry over here into week 2 as the pass for Hill is incomplete. And a 3rd and long coming up for Palomar, as it's the Rustlers today who haven't had a whole lot of success running the football against Palomar.
And Streeter with an opportunity on that play for an interception. Just he was going after the player instead of looking at the ball. He could have walked in for 6.
8 at the 32. Correction, the 37.
So a 3rd down and 8. Football resting on the Palomar 37-yard line. Snap to Reed, 4-man rush. Reed moving away from the pressure, now on the run. They're going to track him down. It's going to be a sack for the Rustlers, and it'll bring up 4th down. Flushed from the pocket, and then the speed of Brogan Diasis.
6-yard loss on the play.
And watch Diasis here. After Gerbich flushes him out, and here comes Brogan Diasis riding him out of bounds. That's a great job generating pressure right from the outset with just a 4-man rush. And what do you do against that? Again, pressure on Ogles, and he gets the kick away.
Now this is going to be the 15-yard variety. Big hit on the kicker. Neal, first man there, and then a little bit of extra oomph to the hit by Henry Powers, and this is going to be Palomar Comet ball.
I want to say, when I was looking at the stats, that Ogles had a couple of kicks blocked a season ago, and you wonder if that is not something that was in the scouting report, because they have been trying to bring the pressure on Landon Ogles from the outset. And this time it's going to draw the 15-yard penalty and give the Comets 15 yards and another set of downs. But, Mike, there's no way that this is incidental. Clearly this is something planned by the Rustlers in terms of the feeling, I'm sure, on that Rustler sideline is there's a chance here we can make a big play and get a block.
Now, if you're able to make contact with the football and there is contact with the kicker, then that completely goes away. But that time there was no contact made with the ball, and then they wrap up the kicker and they get the 15.
Taua hit behind the line and brought down. Gang Green gets there as the Rustlers on that play quickly for a loss.
Just a swarm of Rustler jerseys over to the football, and you see how well they move east to west.
They are so aggressive against the run, and you think, well, maybe there's an opportunity for some kind of play action or something, but they got so much speed in the secondary.
They're able to recover.
It's difficult to get that big play, and that allows them to really get after the football. Brooks, the intended receiver, the pass incomplete. 3rd down and 13 coming up for the Comets.
And you see Reed here getting a little flustered by the speed of the defense for the Rustlers, and obviously it's a tall order to execute against speed on all levels, up front, the linebacking core, and the defensive backs. And we're going on 4 straight quarters of scoreless football for the defense.
8 of 17 in the game for 38 yards. And again, the Comets have been able to complete some passes short, but nothing substantive. Reed going to be sacked again on 3rd and long. Elijah Martin, the returning sophomore, with the sack.
6-yard loss, 4th down and long.
The 6-yard loss moves it back to the 37-yard line. What a response by the Rustler defense after the roughing the kicker penalty. Gave the Comets another chance. High kick from Ogles. Sarmiento under it and has it for the fair catch at the Golden West 24-yard line.
Got a flag.
Another flag down. Again, they tried to get the pressure on Ogles, didn't get there
See the sack here.
We'll take you back.
That's just a missed
Yeah.
block.
Yeah, Martin. I believe I didn't
Foul for kick catching interference.
get there that was actually Austin Gerbich as well, teaming up with Martin. In fact, it was Gerbich the first to get there. But Reed with no chance.
First and 10 for the Rustlers.
First and 10 for Golden West from the 24-yard line. Sam Lieber in the backfield. Kennewell and Sarmiento to the right. Martinez. Straight drop, looking deep. Wants Kennewell. Kennewell with a sensational catch. The one-hander. Well, he was trying to run under that football, and he gets there. And what a grab by Nick Kennewell.
37-yard gain.
It's a 37-yard gain. I imagine we'll have this from more than one angle. Meanwhile, we'll take you back to live action. Martinez with the fake and the keeper.
Well, we'll have some
Flag
time here
comes
to
in
see
late.
it.
It's a gain of about 9 down to the 31-yard line of Palomar. We'll wait on a resolution on the flag. And while the refs huddle up to make the call, let's take you back and look at this one from field level. This time it's the Rustlers who take a shot downfield. Martinez and Kennewell.
Wow.
What's he got? Does he have the old Lester Hayes stick-em on his hands there
I don't know what he has,
to
but
make that catch?
the kid's got some mitts, that's for sure.
Well, I'll tell you, if nobody will go near him on the sidelines, you know he's wearing the stick-em. Meanwhile, Daniel Mina with the call. Personal foul, face mask call against Palomar
Offsetting.
and against Golden West as well. So the offsetting penalties,
We'll replay the down.
they'll replay first down. So that takes the 8-yard run from Martinez off the board. And instead of second and short, it'll be first and 10.
It's a good job with the offsetting penalties because it gives us a chance to show the replay of the one-handed catch.
Yeah, I like it when it works out that way.
But we're walking the football back, and I wonder.
Well, they initially had it
Okay.
where the ball ended up after the run by
Gotcha.
Martinez. So I believe they're going to reset this to first and 10. 6:51 to go in the first half. The Rustlers on the move after the long completion. Martinez to Kennewell. Moves the ball into Palomar territory. Low snap. Martinez has it. Throws right. Completes to Sarmiento. That picks up the 8 yards that Golden West lost moments ago with the offsetting penalties.
That's Nate Jimenez. 16 and 18.
Excuse me.
I see where the
Thank you for the
confusion comes in.
correction.
That's all right.
Yeah.
Well, Jeff, that'll do it for me here at Golden West. I'm off to COC tonight. They'll take on Southwestern up in Santa Clarita.
We have 3 games here today.
3-game triple header here on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Co Sports Network. Southwestern and College of the Canyons at 6 p.m. and also Mount San Jacinto and Antelope Valley College in a rematch of the American Championship game a season ago.
Should be a good one. Second down, trouble on the snap for Martinez, and now the whistles come in. And we thank Mike Cepeda for joining us on the broadcast, helping us get set up. I'd say Saturday is a busy day for Mike Cepeda, the head of SoCalCollegeSports.com, but what day isn't? Where he's basically preparing for and helping to set up one broadcast or another. As we say, 3 games here today, and we hope you're enjoying this one. Golden West College taking on Palomar and leading at 10-0 here in the second quarter. Martinez looks over the defense, has the snap. Guns it over the middle. Kennewell, almost his second sensational catch of the drive as he goes high up for that one, but unable to bring it down, and it'll bring up a third down and short. And you know Kennewell wants another shot at that ball. Excuse me, let me correct that very quickly. That was third down, so it's fourth down from the 36, and we'll see the Rustler punting unit. Well, might we see some trickery here from this position in the field and a manageable 4th and 7. But the way the Rustlers are playing defense so far, why even open up the possibility of a short field? You make the Comets go 80 or 90 yards. And so far, it doesn't look like anybody can do that against the Rustlers. Short kick, looking for that near sideline. Out of bounds near the 20-yard line. And the Rustlers will play for field position. So just a 16-yard punt as the Rustlers look for a little field position. And here comes Kai Reed. And let's correct that. I believe that's Thomas Fishburne in at quarterback. He did play a week ago in the win over Victor Valley. And he'll get the shot here, and he's immediately under pressure and tripped up. Another sack. Jordan Palomino coming off the edge.
New quarterback for the Comets is number 15, Thomas Fishburne. 2-yard loss.
4th sack of the first half for the Rustlers, who had just 2 sacks in the win over Orange Coast last week. But they are getting that pass rush dialed up today. Talked about last year where they averaged 4 sacks a game for the season. Quick throw in the flat, complete. Out to the 25.
Catch is made by
Logan Loudy with the reception. 3rd down for the Comets.
7-yard gain on the play, 3rd down.
The 7-yard pickup brings up a 3rd down and 5. Palomar 1 of 8 on 3rd down here in the first half. Fishburne, straight drop. Again, the pressure comes from Martin. He's able to get away from Martin, but not
Thomas Fishburne with the run.
from Laban, who wraps him up at the 27-yard line, and that brings up 4th down. 2-yard run from Fishburne, short of first down yardage, and here comes Landon Ogles, who has had a busy first half for the Comets. 4:07 and counting remaining in the first half. Ogles gets the kick away, towering kick. Sarmiento moving back, it's over his head, inside the 10, rolling toward the goal line. The Comets trying to keep it alive, but they can't. What a kick from Ogles. 73 yards and a touchback. And the Rustlers will go back on offense. 3:51 to go in the first half, leading it 10-0. That was the 5th punt of the first half for Ogles. And they had 1 quick kick by Kaya Reed. So the Comets have had to punt the ball 6 times here in the first half. Rustler defense picking up where they left off last week and indeed a season ago when they were 2 yards away from an appearance in the 3C2A championship game. Classic SCFA championship matchup against Riverside City College, a 27-23 win for the Tigers. But what a game that was. The Rustlers, no doubt, looking to take that 1 extra step this season. 5-yard penalty against Golden West. Makes it 1st and 15. Martinez has the snap, looking right, throws, finds Kennewell. Out past the 25. Run out of bounds by Jaden Bowen. 9-yard pickup for Kennewell. Makes it 2nd down and 6. Martinez now 12 of 19, 142 yards in the first half. Second and 6. Liebeer has a hole on the right side, tries to leap a tackler, and does out to the 34-yard line. Ricky Davis Jr. got just enough of him to trip him up. But Liebherr, finally with a little bit of running room, working behind the right side of that offensive line, Hayden Harlan, Chris Garcia for the Rustlers, and they opened up as big a hole as I've seen for a ball carrier on either side. They try to go back to Liebherr running right. Flag is down, no gain on the play. Davis again moving up from his safety spot, getting a little help from Sear Jaden Barnes. But the penalty against Golden West, so this will back them up. So that'll back it up to the 24. Second down, or I should say first and 20. Four wide receivers for the Rustlers. Martinez has the snap. Quick throw, completes. Finding Savao. Big collision. Davis knocks him out of bounds at the 37. 13-yard gain makes it second down and 7. Palomar in the game. 11 rushing attempts. 1 yard rushing, and Golden West on their part 12 rushing attempts, 12 rushing yards in the game. So both of these defenses have been extremely stout against the run. Second down and 7. Martinez guns into double coverage. This one is picked off. Comets with the first turnover, and it's Jaden Ireland who delivered the big play in the win against Victor Valley. Talked about the pick 6 for Ireland in the second quarter that really changed the tenor of that game. Up until that point, Victor Valley had been leading 17-0. Can he do something similar for the Comets here? As Golden West had really been in control from the outset here. Granted, the lead only 10-0. But still, you had the feeling on both sides of the ball that the Rustlers were controlling the action so far in this one. But Martinez throwing into coverage. Ireland moving back on that ball, comes up with the big interception. And can the Comets, with 2:03 remaining in the first half, possibly turn this into points and some momentum heading into the locker room? First down carry and a gain of a yard. Dorian Richardson with the carry. They'll give him a yard, second down and 9. The ball at the Golden West 46. Fishburne continuing at quarterback. The handoff to Richardson. Over his left guard. The football appeared to come out. No signal yet. The Rustlers are saying they have it. And it looks like they're going to say Richardson down by contact after another short gain. This was just a yard. Third down and 8. Well, Joe Early has taken a couple of shots downfield here in this first half, but so far the Comets have yet to find any kind of big play against this Rustler defense. Third down and 8 from the 45. Fishburne has the snap, steps up, has time, looking deep on the right side, incomplete. He wanted Brooks. Blanket coverage for the Rustlers from Embry and Hubbard. And now it's fourth down and 8 from the Golden West 45, and with under a minute to go, will Joe Early think about taking a chance? Plays that have gained even as much as 8 yards in the first half have been extremely rare for the Comets. And because of that, you would suspect, here comes the punting unit. Quick snap to Ogles. Sky high. Inside the 20, takes a bounce inside the 5, and they will down this at the 1. Well, off the 73-yard kick from Landon Ogles moments ago. How about this one where he drops it down at the 1 yard line? 44-yard kick. And Ogles, a sophomore standout for Palomar, also handles the place kicking duties. He's a sophomore out of Rancho Bernardo High School in San Diego. And a season ago, Ogles was 16 of 19 on field goal attempts for the season. Rustlers content to try and run out the clock here in this first half. Palomar does have all 3 timeouts, and they'll take one. Gain of 3 gets it out to the 4 and gets the Rustlers at least some breathing room as they started from their own 1. We'll take a short break from Golden West. 29 seconds remaining in the first half. 10-0 Rustlers here on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Coast Sports Network. Second down and 7 for the Rustlers from their own 4-yard line. Another handoff and a gain of a couple. Libeer on the carry. Out past the 5 to the 7. McKenzie and Barnes teaming up on the stop. Third down and about 3 from the 8-yard line. Timeout taken down to 22 seconds. The Rustlers can convert on third down, can head to the locker room leading at 10-0. Another suffocating performance defensively for the Rustlers, who after that opening drive a week ago completely shut down the Pirates. And they have continued that here into week 2 against this Comet offense. Bring you down to field level for this 3rd and 3 play. They move Savao into the backfield in an offset eye. Martinez with Libeer in the deep eye, and they give to Libeer. Circling to his right, looking for a lane, hit and stopped short of the first down. Devin Dye moving up to make the tackle, and that'll bring up 4th down with 14.7 remaining in the first half. The Comets will take their final timeout, and they'll make the Rustlers kick it away from their own end zone. Chance for Isaiah Davis to perhaps make something happen. That's a good job by the Comets defensively. They have bottled up Sam Libeer, who had a strong game a week ago in the victory over Orange Coast. But Libeer with just 16 yards on 10 carries in the first half. That'll bring on Hinsey. And the Rustlers will have to find a way to get one off here from the shadow of their own goalpost. See if the Comets come after this kick or try to maybe set up something for Davis, who waits at the Golden West 46-yard line. No, they came after the kick. Good job by Hinsey to get it away. Davis from the 42. Heading to his right, stiff arms a man, wrapped up. He'll fall forward to the 40. Time enough for one play for Palomar. Well, what's the call here? Do you take a shot at the end zone with 2.4 left? Or do you bring out Ogles and let him try from 57 yards? I wouldn't completely rule it out. And I'll tell you what, here comes Landon Ogles. They may be giving Ogles a shot here on a 57-yard attempt. And I got to tell you, I think this is the right call, just in terms of the percentages. They're both long shots, to be sure. But they'll try and let Ogle see if he can get him on the board. Placement down, kick away. And he's got it! Landon Ogles, 57 yards. Final play of the first half. And the Comets are on the board. Halftime from Golden West. The Rustlers see their lead shave to 7. It's a 10-3 score. You're watching Golden West College football on SoCalCollegeSports.com, and the Coast Sports Network will take you out with a look at the powerful leg of Landon Ogles. The Rustlers deferred after winning the toss prior to the game, so they will have the ball first to start the third quarter. We welcome you back to Golden West College. Jeff Stoynoff, Anthony Dembrowski joining us on the broadcast.
Good to see ya. How are you?
Anthony, it's been an interesting first half. We were talking a little bit about Malachi Martinez after such a strong performance a week ago. The challenge steps up here a little bit against a defense that's had a little more success of late. And Malachi Martinez, I think we agree, passing grade so far in the first half. They've got the lead. He's playing well, not quite last week,
Absolutely.
but not playing badly.
Yeah, he stepped up. There are some throws he wants back, absolutely. But I think overall what you're looking at is a young man who's taking the steps in the maturation process. As a quarterback, he is moving the ball, and the team's ahead.
14 of 22, 164 yards in the first half. Did have the one interception, but the passing of Malachi Martinez, that's been the offense. Here in the first half for Golden West, they have the 10-3 lead. This one through the back of the end zone, and the Rustlers will go to work to start the third quarter from their own 25-yard line. And things got a little more tense here with Brandon Ogles nailing it from 57 yards to close out the first half. It's a one-score game here as we start the third quarter, but that was some kind of kick from Ogles.
Absolutely, and don't count out Palomar. That's a young team right there who won 6 games last year, but is certainly showing talent today. You've got a young man moving the ball down the field and a running back in Palomar's team that, you know, those guys are competing at a high level and trying to get those reps, and you can see it on there. Their defense is hanging with Malachi.
Yeah, if you can't run the football, you're probably going to be in a close game. That's really the best case scenario. And we've talked about Golden West and their rush defense, but Palomar matching them step for step, just 19 yards on the ground as a team for the Rustlers in the first half. So they're a one-dimensional offense here as well.
It's first and 1, and here we go. Malachi handing off the ball.
Yeah, he's going to go with Liebeer, and Liebeer runs into a wall after a gain of a couple.
You know, through the first 6 quarters of football here, I got to say Sam Liebeer is Malachi's Scottie Pippen. You know, he's his go-to guy, his confidant, and you can see it on the field. They have great chemistry, and both have had a great opportunity to move the ball.
It was John McKenzie wrapping him up after a gain of a couple. But, yeah, Liebeer has had tough sledding running against this Palomar defense, but up to 11 carries for 18 yards. So Nick Mitchell and his offensive coaching staff, they're not going to go away from the running game. Just going to keep trying to make it work. 2nd down and 8 after the 2-yard pickup. Martinez will look to throw. Pressure comes, steps up, looking for a lane. He's tripped up.
And those are the little things that he does. You see that? It's a gain of a few yards. There was nothing open. He went to the legs, and he got success with it. Moving the ball is important.
Shiloh Seau got a hand in there to trip him up before Martinez could get a lot of momentum going. It brings up a 3rd down and 7 in the first half. Golden West, 3 of 9 on 3rd down, and they face a 3rd and 9, I should say a 3rd and 7 here from their own 29-yard line. Martinez with receivers left and right. Straight drop, now rolls away from pressure. Martinez still looking downfield, uncorks on the far side. There's going to be another interception. Ricky Davis Jr. with the pick.
And
looking
Davis
for a
still
return
moving.
over midfield. He's brought down at the Golden West 43-yard line. 2nd turnover of the game for Golden West. Last week, the Rustlers dominated the action, forcing 4 turnovers, plus 3 turnover differential. But this week, a different story. It's Palomar that's forced a couple of turnovers.
Absolutely. And number 9, you know, we're looking at Ricky Davis Jr. That young man, you know, ball hawked it right there. And I think you can start to see maybe some trends of the tide changing.
Russell able to flush him from the pocket. And this, I think, is just a young quarterback trying to make something happen. But the ball a little underthrown, and Davis Jr. has his head up and is able to make the pick. As you watch the return, the Comets go to work from the 43. Good running room on the right side. Dorian Lewis with the carry. That's as good a carry as Palomar has had in the game. A pickup of about 8 yards to the 34-yard line of Golden West. Call it 9.
Lewis got a little success there moving the ball. Let's see if he can do it again.
2nd down, working behind Jake Waltman. Daniel Shelby on the right side of that Palomar offensive line. Hit behind the line is Lewis. Back to the 36-yard line. That'll make it 3rd and 3. What a stand by the Rustler defense, flying into the backfield. It was sophomore Harrison Koffel, and Golden West, what a luxury for Nick Mitchell. 3 sophomore linebackers really keying this defense, and they react so quickly, particularly in the running game.
Those are the veterans that are really anchoring and leading this team, and it's showing on the field right now.
3rd down and 3. Huge 3rd down for both teams. Palomar trying to keep the momentum. They're 1 of 10 on 3rd down in the game.
Goffel had a big game last week. He contributed tackles.
On the ground, running left. Lewis dragged down about a yard shy. Jonah Laban denies Lewis the 1st down. They'll spot it at the 35, 4th and 2. I've got to believe that Joe Early is going to consider going for it here. Might be having some trouble with our main shot, so we'll try to keep you abreast of what's going on. Flags before the snap. Fishburne continues calling the signals for the Comets, taking over for Kaya Reed. Let's see what the call is here. This could be a huge call as it's 4th and 2, but if you back them up 5 yards, as is going to be the case. So now 4th and 2 becomes 4th and 7, and I think maybe you see Ogles in a punt here, and here he comes. Well, maybe they'll try another 57-yarder.
Just one of those, you know,
Lord.
average 57-yarder.
Lord knows he's shown he's got the leg. There can't be a whole lot of doubt about that.
Okay, and we're
All right.
back. Little technical issue resolved.
So fourth down,
Fourth down and 2.
and we'll see the punting unit. Hey, I got an echo. I can't call it an echo. You got to turn me off somehow or something, but yeah, I can't. Can't do it.
4th and 2.
Justin Vincey in punt formation.
Again, punt formation for Golden West.
So Hinsey on to kick it away.
You know, his mom came by and made sure that I got the last name right.
The Hinsey.
Yeah, it's not Hence. but Hensey.
You know what? I have to apologize for that. I didn't get the pronunciation ahead of time. Did our best to try and track it down.
But moms will remind you.
No, absolutely they
She
will.
let
As
you
they
know.
should.
As they should.
But I think the
absolutely.
lesson here is that we need to talk a little bit more. I need to find you is really the key for the game, and then I'll know. But we appreciate that. I did overhear it, so hopefully we've had it right more often than wrong, and certainly we'll have it right the rest of the way. Hinsey gets away the kick, and Palomar will take over at their own 25-yard line. Still a one-score game at 10-3. So the Rustler defense has been outstanding, but the pressure continues.
Absolutely.
Can't afford to make any kind of mistake in a one-score game. Thomas Fishburne at the controls for the Comets, looking right, throwing right. Incomplete, looking for Kiri Scholes, who had a couple of catches last week. Malachi Gatewood had the coverage for Golden West, and that'll bring up a 2nd down and 10. Fishburne last week was 8 of 13 for 89 yards in the game. So he came in and threw the ball well. But again, this whole different level
Absolutely.
that he's dealing with here as he comes in trying to take on this Rustler defense.
And he's staring at that veteran linebacking core that's getting in his backfield.
Throws on the run, finds Alex Hill out past the 25 near the 30-yard line.
Hill with the catch. Pushed out
That's a gain of 5 and a 3rd down and 5 coming up for Palomar. Fishburne now 2 of 4 in the game.
You know, you see number 44, Elijah Martin, the sophomore defensive lineman, all over the field, and he is starting to get Palomar's number.
Yeah, Martin, along with Kylan Neal, 2nd and 3rd on the team in sacks last year with 7 and 6. Ismail Souza led the way with 11. But the Rustlers, you think they can get after the quarterback this year? You should have seen last year when they had 47 sacks as a team. Meanwhile, another flag on the play is going to move this ball to the 45-yard line, a 15-yard penalty against Golden West. But perhaps just as importantly, they'll spot it at the 44. Instead of 3rd and 6, it's a fresh set of downs, a 1st and 10.
And Coach Nick Mitchell's team can't sustain those mistakes over a long period of time.
Ordinarily not a big problem for Golden West, but well, they had just 3 penalties in the first half. I thought it was a little bit higher than that, but stats show just 3, so that would be the 4th penalty.
Coach Nick Mitchell has done a great job.
Fishburne under pressure. This one batted up and intercepted. The Rustlers forced the turnover this time. Inside the 35, down the 32, the 20, looking for a block inside the 10. This is going to be a pick 6 for the Rustlers.
Fire the cannons, he made it in there.
Xavier Strader with the pick, and then works his way down the far sideline for a big touchdown for the Rustlers.
Strader just reached out and grabbed it. I mean, it was a great catch.
Hold everything, though. We do have a flag over on the far side at the 20-yard line. This is where you might see an illegal block on the return. I suspect that the interception is going to count, but this touchdown may be coming off the board.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think you're going to see a block in the back in the upper part of the field there.
Nope, the penalty is against Palomar. So this is going to be a Rustler touchdown. Instead of protecting the lead, they're expanding the lead with a big pick 6. Xavier Streeter, the sophomore.
And like you said, you know, it's that defense. They're starting to pitch shutouts, and it's helping Malachi, giving him confidence, and giving him time to grow, make some mistakes, and learn.
Out of Somerset High School. I should say Southwestern High School in Somerset, Kentucky. So Xavier Streeter coming out to Golden West. What a massive play that was. The sophomore with the interception returns it for a touchdown. The extra point tacked on, and Golden West with 7:50 remaining in the third quarter. Now leads at 17-3. You are watching Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Coast Sports Network. Rustlers with a little bit of breathing room. The extra point was missed, so the score is 16-3. Nonetheless, the Rustlers make it a two-score game as Streeter comes up with the interception and takes it to the house. And the Rustler defense not just limiting points, now they're scoring points. Brown on the return, out past the 30.
And that's a wonderful dimension for your defense to have. If you're Coach Nick Mitchell, having veteran sophomores, on the field like that, being able to ball hawk and score touchdowns, putting points on as defense, that matters. And so that's something that we're going to have to continue to watch for the rest of the game.
26-yard return. Palomar will take over at their own 31-yard line. And now, where do you go? If you're the Comets offensively, just 11 yards rushing as a team, but it's not a whole lot easier throwing the football. Combined 10 of 24 for 49 yards.
Well, they have to figure something out if they're going to even have a shot at moving the ball.
Read option, Fishburne hit behind the line and brought down. Golden West getting in the backfield so quickly. Khalil Jackson first to get there. And
the big freshman lineman out of Montgomery, Alabama, the Christian Academy out there, contributing big on the play.
Well, I like the idea of trying to run a little misdirection against an aggressive defense, but the Rustlers not fooled. Second down and 13. Snap to Fishburne. Rolling right, still looking. Fishburne throws down the sideline and incomplete, nobody home.
They're getting past that line of contact like the Ukrainian army, and that quarterback's going to start feeling it.
Well, you start to sense the pressure because right there, Fishburne on the previous play really wasn't under a lot of pressure, but the happy feet starts right away, and that's going to happen when you're a quarterback, when you're feeling the pressure on most plays and taking some hits. That's part of the benefit that you get when you can consistently pressure and get to the quarterback, even if you're not getting sacks. Here comes the blitz on third and long, pass complete, out past the 35 to the 39-yard line as they find Jose Ayala, his first catch of the day, but it is short of first down yardage.
Ayala looked good there, moving the ball.
4th down and 1 from the 40, and can you possibly think about going for it here?
I think you have to. I think you have to punch it in to keep yourself in the game, keep yourself competitive at this moment. You got to go for it.
Well, watch for the possibility of a quick kick as they empty the backfield on a 4th and 1. We saw a quick kick from Kaya Reed in the first half on a 4th down. This is Fishburne. But I think it's interesting, Anthony, that on a 4th and short, you're going to line up with nobody in the backfield. Fishburne on the draw, wrapped up and dropped. Well, they took the chance, but the Rustlers get there with Christian Carmona.
Carmona was all over him.
Austin Gerbich quickly into the backfield as he's been all day.
Gerbich looking very, very fast.
So the 4th and 1 goes against Palomar. The loss of 5 will give it back to the Rustlers, and now the Rustlers with a short field and a chance to really take control with 6:05 remaining in the third quarter if they can punch it in here.
Yeah, and this short field will be an asset for them. Let's see if Malachi can turn this into 6.
He's got Caleb Ducknall in the backfield. 4 wide receiver set. Martinez has the snap. They keep it on the ground. And this is going to be a loss on the play as well.
Looks like Jared Johnson.
Yeah, it was Jared Johnson in the backfield, not Ducknall. And he was run out of bounds. Great pursuit from Jalen Ramsey coming up from his linebacker spot. Blows up that play. It's a loss of 3 and a 2nd and 13 coming up. There you see Barnes giving chase, but watch as Ramsey comes in.
Yeah, big 57 just is eyeing him the entire time, gets him out of bounds. Good way to stop the clock and help your defense.
2nd down and 13. For the Rustlers, 3 wide receivers to the near side. Kennewell back in the game. Trouble on the snap, but Martinez has it. And he'll circle left and head out of bounds after a pickup of about 8 yards, bringing up a 3rd down and 5.
And that's such an advantage, for Coach Nick to have a player like Martinez, dual threat, great with the arm, great with the legs. A lot of opportunity for him at the next level.
Cross Antonacci makes his first appearance in the backfield for Golden West. Had a couple of carries in the win last week against Orange Coast.
That's a name you want to say 5 times.
Again, they overload the right side. 3rd down and 5. Antonacci straight ahead, bouncing off tacklers. The 2nd effort, the 3rd effort from Antonacci.
And he's still grinding.
It's going to come down to the spot. Ramsey, with a little help from Marquise Bell, finally stood him up, but that is good hard running from Cross Antonacci.
Antonacci had a few words for the defense, and his lineman had to help him out.
Well, it's a pretty good spot, but they haven't moved the chains yet. This may be the old 4th and inches. Let's see what happens here.
They bring out the chains is the question.
I don't think there's any question but that they're going to go for it, and they will with Antonacci in the backfield. Quick snap to Martinez. Antonacci lowers the shoulder, and he's got the 1st down. 3-yard run following James Nose, the center.
You realize the depth that Golden West has at running back? I mean, they got Libier, they got Johnson, and, the young man Antonacci. Cross Antonacci. It is a tough one to say.
We also saw Scott last week as well. So they've got a few names in the mix. Play action, Martinez looking into the end zone for Kennewell when he just overshot it. Flag comes in late as he was working against Marquise Bell.
Now, Scott was a little banged up. I don't know if they're going to be using him much today. Haven't seen him.
Yeah. Just adding another name to the list. They were keeping Jonathan Scott, had 4 carries last week, and figures to be part of the fold throughout the season. But, yeah, we have not seen Jonathan Scott today, but no shortage of bodies at that running back position. Meanwhile, holding the call against Palomar.
Now, Scott's family is another one of those families that is super fun and excited, comes out to every game, and they have a presence. So he has a cheering squad here.
They'll move it to the 11-yard line. The Rustlers in the red zone with a 1st and 10 late in the 3rd. Martinez. Antonacci in the deep eye. Screen it out. Nothing doing.
Is that Sarmiento?
Looked like it was Sarmiento, although I've learned to wait between Sarmiento and Jimenez. Masato Thompson with a good job working in the open field against the shifty Sarmiento. And able to just get enough and get him out of bounds. Minimal gain on the play. In fact, it's a loss. Back to the 13-yard line, 2nd down and 12. Martinez, play action, throws into the end zone, has a man open, tiptoes the back line, touchdown Rustlers. Went back to to Savau.
That's the big tight end.
Yeah,
the
absolutely.
Sophomore out of Hawaii.
Yeah, it's Robbie Savau. We talked about Cody Savau, his brother who was on the team last year, one of the stalwarts defensively. And Robbie Savau back for his sophomore season, and he's got a touchdown reception to give the Rustlers a 22-3 lead as they will attempt to tack on the extra point.
Well, you become a good defensive lineman by having a little brother that you can push around who later becomes a great tight end. That's how that works.
Right.
And so here we see the Coach Nick Mitchell putting it in there and his big tight end scoring points.
Hinsey with the extra point. And that one's no good. So Hinsey's missed a couple of extra points. Not likely to come back and bite you here today, but not what you want to see if you're the Rustlers. The lead now 22-3 with 3:12 remaining in the third quarter.
You can certainly see the crowd, the Palomar side, coming out of the game. They are definitely feeling the pressure of this 19-point lead.
Well, you see, this is where it helps when your defense is so dominating, is the Palomar defense played an exceptional first half. And it should be pointed out that one of the two touchdowns, obviously, in the third quarter here was a defensive touchdown, so that's not the Palomar defense. But you get worn down after a while. When you can't sustain drives, when your offense is having trouble sustaining any kind of offense, it's hard not to get worn down, and that's the advantage of the Rustlers' ability to consistently get off the field defensively and get it back to their offense.
Absolutely. In the world of O's and D's, when one side is on the field longer than the other, there is going to be some wear. You guys are going to get worn out.
Down the far sideline and out of bounds. This will be a penalty against Golden West, and Palomar will come out with good field position as Ireland lets it go. 3:12 remaining in the third quarter. Golden West now pushes the lead to 22-3. The Streeter interception in return for a touchdown, and then Malachi Martinez finds Robbie Savau. The touchdown pass, and the lead now 19. They'll spot it at the 35-yard line, and that's where Palomar will take over with 3:09 remaining here in the third.
Martinez is looking good. You can see he's bouncing back from the interceptions. It's good coaching. That's what it comes down to. You can see that what Nick Mitchell has done is surrounded him with a cast of people who support him and allow him to be his best.
Rustler showing blitz. Here they come. Short throw, incomplete. He was looking for Logan Loudy, off the hands of Loudy. 2nd down and 10. That's a good call against the blitz.
Absolutely.
And Loudy had a little bit of open field, but couldn't find the handle on the pass, and instead it's incomplete. 2nd down and 10. Dorian Richardson in the backfield for Palomar. Fishburne remaining in the game. At quarterback, another blitz coming. Fishburne steps up. Good protection, completes this time. Out to the 40. Jose Ayala with his second catch here in the third quarter. 5-yard gain brings up a 3rd down and 5. And Palomar's struggles on 3rd down well documented here today.
Let's see if Fishburne can turn this around by getting a completion.
Again, Gerbich standing up, looking to come off the edge. 4-man rush, Fishburne. Throwing short, completes, appears to have the 1st down, out to the 47-yard line, going back to Ayala. Nice execution on 3rd down and a 3rd down pickup, which has been something of a rarity for the Comets here today. Fishburne sends 3 wide receivers out to the right. Now Ayala in motion. Blitz coming again off the hands of Brooks, who's still without a catch today. Brooks had 5 catches a week ago in the victory over Victor Valley, but has just been unable to get into the flow of this one. And that one just a straight drop.
That Golden West defense is keeping him with no catches, and those defensive backs have his number.
2nd down and 10. Football at the Palomar 47-yard line. Fishburne with Richardson to his right. Another blitz coming. Short completion, no gain on the play. Ayala with the reception.
That's a tackle by Tyler Williams, the sophomore defensive back out of Anaheim.
Yeah.
Went to Canyon High School.
Talked about the veteran linebacker core, but it's also very much a veteran secondary as well.
Yeah, those defensive backs are keying in on players and preventing them from catching the ball.
4 sophomores at least that I can think of between Williams, Streeter, Ford, and Gatewood. But it is really a sophomore-laden defense for Golden West, and they had a great season a season ago.
Yeah, and it's that next man in mentality that's helped Nick Mitchell's team.
Flushed from the pocket by Martin, throwing back to his left, and it's incomplete. Boy, that was very close. Koffel.
Just a beast all over the field. Sophomore out of St. John Bosco.
Able to get a hand in, but let's watch here because this was one of those ones where Koffel might have gotten there a touch early, but no flag coming. And we will see Landon Ogles.
Koffel from the big powerhouse, John Bosco, producing tons of talent.
High kick from Ogles. Sarmiento doesn't make the fair catch. Instead, he is hit and dropped immediately.
That's a teachable moment. He's going to need to learn to wave that hand.
And Sarmiento's so sure-handed back there and elects to take that one. It's a risky play deep in your own territory, but does a good job holding on to the football.
Well, once the ringing stops, I think he's going to realize he's going to need to start waving that hand.
The Rustlers will have it 1st and 10 at their own 13-yard line. And now you get to a situation with 1 minute remaining in the third where you can start to try and chew up a little clock. If you're Golden West, though, that's going to be easier said than done. It's not as though they can rely on just being able to move the chains running the football. They haven't really been able to do that at all today.
Sure, but, with Cross Antonucci and Martinez in the backfield, I think there's going to be a little bit more ground and pound. We're going to start seeing that right
Antonacci with
now.
a good hole on the left side, out to the 20-yard line, to the 21. Preston Johnson, Trent Light on that left side of that offensive line, able to clear a path for Antonacci, who picks up 8 yards. Bring up a 2nd down and 2 from the 20.
Antonacci really getting some playing time today.
Gets the call again, bounces off another tackler at the line. The second effort, enough to move the chains. And Anthony, I think we agree. This Cross Antonacci, I think, has got to have a role moving forward on this team. He had a very good week with just a couple of carries a week ago in the victory against Orange Coast, and this has been a great job in relief here in the third quarter and a very different dynamic in terms of how he runs the football.
Antonacci is moving the ball, and he's creating himself a niche in this offense in the rotation of running backs, and it's good to see that for the young man.
That'll be the final play of the third quarter. We are through 3. Golden West on top of Palomar 22-3. It's Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Coast Sports Network.
Malachi Martinez finds a man over the middle. Sarmiento will take it in for 6. Touchdown, Rustler.
Run. This one hit deep to right field, and it's over the head of Marquez. That's going to score a run. Start of the fourth quarter, and the Rustlers with a 1st and 10 from their own 26-yard line. Off tackle on the left side, gain of perhaps a yard is Jared Johnson, or I should say, I think we have another back coming in, and that is Jason Pete with his first carry. So a new look and a gain of a couple. Going to bring up 2nd down and 8. Sorry, Anthony, I know you were going to say something.
Oh, no, we were just we were talking during the break that Antonacci and Martinez went to the same high school, and they're both from Boise. So you can definitely see the connection there, and they work well together. Antonacci's cutting a little niche for himself in this offense.
Good hole for Pete, who's into the secondary, out to the 38-yard line. Good enough to move the chains. 1st down for Golden West. And we were speculating that Cross Antonacci comes from Meridian High School, Boise, Idaho, and all of a sudden you see Malachi Martinez come to Golden West the next year, and it's like, That's probably not an accident.
That didn't happen accident. That is not a coincidence. There's a great deal of recruiting, and if you look at this roster, the people on it, the young men who are on it, who are from all over the country. We're talking about people from Idaho, Indiana, France, everybody. This is a very well-rounded football team.
Pete on the carry struggles to get back to the line where it'll be 2nd down and 10. And I think what's interesting watching this third quarter is that there you see Pete with a little scatter back, kind of stutter step in the backfield. That's not really working against this Palomar team. It's very athletic and very fast. I think Antonacci's had some of the most success just going straight ahead, the bowling ball, and go straight at this defense. Might be a little more effective against a defense that has so much speed. Savao out in the flat, able to slip out of one tackle, forced out of bounds after a gain of a couple of yards. It'll bring up a 3rd down and 9 for the Rustlers. And again, Golden West, 5 of 13 now on 3rd down in the game. Meanwhile, we have a Comet player down over on the far side of the field.
Hope that young man's okay.
With 13:08 remaining.
Trainers are down looking at him right now.
We'll step aside, take a brief injury timeout on SoCalCollegeSports.com. Golden West on top, 22-3. Third down and 9 for the Rustlers from their 38-yard line. Trying to keep the drive alive.
Pete's still in the game there.
So they stay with Jason Pete. 3 wide receivers to the left for Martinez. Blitz coming. Martinez in all kinds of trouble, able to get out of that pressure and roll to his left. The throw down the sideline incomplete. How did Malachi Martinez avoid what would have been a huge loss?
And that's maturity right there. Rolling out, breaking tackles, and getting rid of the ball when you don't have anything in front of you.
Let's see if we can get the replay here, because the Comets dialed up a blitz, and it worked perfectly because someone came in largely unblocked. And Martinez, with the kind of athleticism that you just can't teach, able to just shed that tackle and get away. And, yeah, that looked like Barnes, who came on the delayed blitz, Sear Jaden Barnes. And what a chance he had for what would have been about a 15-yard loss, but Martinez
and that's
able
that
to evade.
Untaught athleticism that you talk about. That is a young man showing his ability with his legs right there.
Davis takes a big hit on the return. Does hold on to the football. The Comets will go back on offense. Williams with the big stick on the return. And here comes the Comet offense with 12:41 remaining here in the ball game.
I was going to ask for some cranberry sauce after that hit. It looked like he stuffed him like a Christmas goose.
Well, this is starting to have some of the shades of the matchup between these two teams a season ago. Golden West winning that one 31-3 at Palomar. 6 sacks in the game, and it was a stifling Rustler defense that just never let the Comets in the game. And this one has
all the
some of that same
thing.
feel to it, you have
Sure.
to imagine, and a score that's not too far off. Let's see if the Comets can muster something late. The handoff and a good individual effort out to the 25 as Lewis gets the carry. He's in some trouble on the exchange, but able to shed a tackle and pick up positive yardage.
You know, I like the way Lewis keeps his feet moving on that. You know, he didn't have much to work with, but he kept driving, and that is what will put yards on the board for your team.
Keep the legs churning. 2nd down and 6 after a 4-yard run. Back to the ground with Lewis. Again, hitting the backfield. The ball comes out late, but the play whistled dead.
And the ball is down.
And 3rd down coming up for the Comets.
Recovered by Frankie Goodson, the freshman out of Utah, Olympus, Utah right there.
A yard for Lewis on the carry brings up 3rd down and 5. Three wide receivers to the left. Fishburne throws over the middle and completes. Short of the 1st down by a couple of yards as he finds Alex Hill for 3, leaving a 4th down and 2. And Joe Early will send out the punting unit.
Again, Golden West defense. Shutting them down. Okay, those sophomores are contributing at a high level for Coach Nick Mitchell.
Well, they do such a good job of mixing it up. That one appeared to be the standard frontline rush, and they drop more into coverage. Not a lot to do. But on the previous drive, we saw about 5 or 6 straight plays where the blitz was coming from Golden West. So it's not a defense that's easy to predict. They do a good job disguising what they do as well, in addition to having the talent.
Absolutely. You know, you don't know what Golden West is going to give you until it's flying at you. And that's one of the things that they're doing really well right now.
So they get it back at their own 33-yard line. It'll be 1st and 10. Martinez returns with Jason Pete.
Pete getting some reps now.
Snap to Martinez. Pete tries to cut it back, falls forward for a gain of 3. Brings up a 2nd down and 7. Jaden Bowen in on the stop. And again, the Rustlers not going to be in any hurry at this point.
You know, this is that clock and ball control that you see at the end of games, and they do it very well. The ground and pound, take up the clock. You have depth at your running back, so you can use guys that are a little farther down.
2nd down and 7. And now flags come in. Might have been some movement on the left side.
Looks
Saw
like
Bowen.
Big number 15.
Yeah, pointing at Javon Williams.
The sophomore out of Kansas City.
And we'll have a good look at it there, and there it is.
Yeah.
That's a great job, guys. I should say our guys. On that, capturing that. And Williams, the little lean. Good time to introduce some of our team. Tonight's broadcast directed by Lorenzo Osuna, Angelo Solis, Andrew Stephen, Matthew Mateos. Handling the camera work. Great job as always, Martinez. Rainbows the far side, and it's incomplete. Little bit of contact late, but no flag. He wanted Kennewell.
I thought there was going to be some laundry on that one. The yellow was going to be flying, but nothing called.
Yeah.
They're letting him play.
Masato Thompson, watch here at the end, and Thompson, maybe that little grab with the right arm, and I agree with you. I think Masato Thompson gets away with one here. Watch again, a little pull on Kennewell.
Hand in the cookie jar, getting a little grab on him.
Right,
you know?
Exactly. So easy to do when you're trying to work against Kennewell.
Oh, sure. That's someone you're going to want to grab frequently. That guy, he's a beast out there.
Well, I will say in Thompson's defense, that's fairly common when you get your head around, as Martinez hit as he throws, completes the pass, well shy of the 1st down marker as Sarmiento makes the catch but is hit immediately out to the 38-yard line. But going back to that previous play, I think what really saves Thompson there is he does a good job of getting his head around. And I think when you can get your head around and pick up the ball, they'll let you jostle a little bit. They'll let you fight a little bit with the arm and maybe do a little bit of a push. But again, he's able to get himself turned around and at least make an attempt to play the ball. And I think that's what keeps the flag in the pocket.
Absolutely. You know, when you get your head back, and that's a trait that's taught to all young players, get your head back and eye the ball. That way you can slap and fight and you can tie up with someone.
4th down and 8, and the Rustlers will punt it away. 9:17 to go.
What do they say in Days of Thunder? Rubbin's racing?
You know, that is right in my wheelhouse, too. It's not a movie that I know really, really well, but you're so in the right era. Trouble for Davis, who does fall on it at the 30-yard line.
Now, that made contact with one of the players down there.
It's a good heady play by Isaiah Davis.
Prince Ford is wishing he had that bag, an opportunity to scoop that up.
Yeah, it's Marquise Bell, as that one lands a little short, and Bell does get a piece of it, and Davis alertly jumps on it to keep it for Palomar with 8:59 remaining in the game. The Comets will come back looking for some offense. They trail at 22-3.
You know, Ford's a quarterback out of North Carolina, Concord, North Carolina. And again, another player from out of the state that Nick Mitchell brought in. That's just the way he chases talent.
More and more recruiting from all over for all of the schools that we cover. Fishburne hit from behind and sacked.
That is Kyle Neal.
Yeah, Kylan Neal, who had 6 sacks a season ago as a freshman linebacker, and gets one there. And, Neal will get the sack in the scorebook, but score that one for the Rustler secondary as well, as Fishburne ran out of time as he scrambled around, but nowhere to go with the football. Short throw, incomplete, nearly intercepted, and quickly it's 3rd and 13 for Palomar.
The dominance this Golden West defense is showing just throughout the game is amazing. They have been on Palomar's offense the entire time, just grinding them up.
And right now we've seen the Comets take some shots downfield, but for the most part they've tried to get away with throwing the ball short, and the Rustlers have made that adjustment. Another sack coming for the Rustlers. Vasquez wrapping up Fishburne, 3 and out for the Comets, and the Rustlers will get it back. Well, that is so tough for young Thomas Fishburne. What a tough job. The Rustler secondary really hawking the ball.
He is showing grit and staying in there, but he is having a tough day.
And that front 7 pinning their ears back, and they are getting after the quarterback. And there's just not a lot of time for Fishburne or any of the Palomar quarterbacks to do anything. Ogles.
It looked like Neal almost with the block.
Well, they have been going after Ogles all day. They've gotten close. Unfortunately for the Rustlers, they've picked up a couple of penalties. Don't have a block to show for it, but they do have the 22-3 lead with 7:41 remaining in the game.
Take a moment and shout out our sponsor, Primo Nosh. Those guys are amazing. Check out their website, primonosh.com.
Straight ahead and a gain of about 6.
Throw the graphic up
Antonacci.
there. They brought back Antonacci.
Well, when it's time to kill the clock.
Well, the big guy just runs.
Yeah, give it to the guy who can run between the tackles. Give you positive yardage. Antonacci now with 24 yards.
You know, it's good to see the Rustlers kind of got that package deal. You get a quarterback, you get a running back, all from the same community. Great ties to Idaho, the Boise.
Antonacci off tackle on the right side, breaks a tackle at the line, churns his legs, and appears to have enough for the first down. Well, if you haven't seen Cross Antonacci run the ball, just run that last play. That's pretty much what it is right there. Hit at the line.
Ground
the legs
and
keep
pound.
working. Low center of gravity. He's bouncing off tacklers, and he ends up picking up positive yardage and getting the first down.
Should call him ping pong ball. He's bouncing all over the place and getting somewhere.
Well, it's been an impressive performance for Antonacci, as both these teams have struggled mightily to run the football. First down handoff, big hole on the left side. This is going to be another Rustler first down. Jonathan Scott with his first carry, and that has to be a welcome sight for Jonathan Scott and the Rustlers. Scott struggled somewhat last week, but he had a nice lane there created on the left side and is able to get the first down.
And Scott's a grinder. He's a contributor. He's someone who wants to be out there on every play. I had a chance to talk to him last week after the game, and he looks forward to every rep. He says, I love where I am on the depth chart, and I love to compete. And those are traits that you want in a leader.
Light and Johnson on the left side again, creating that big lane back to Scott, who's hit at the line. No gain on the play. Shiloh Seau swallows up Scott. 2nd down and 10. Clock continues to move. We're under 6 minutes to go. And stick around after the game, Anthony. You're going to head down to the field. We'll have an interview.
See if we can get a
down on the field. We shall endeavor to. We're going to try.
We will endeavor to go down there and try to get Coach Nick.
And we'll see if we can get perhaps Nick Mitchell or one of the players, and we'll just see what we can do. But hang around after the game, and we will hear from the Rustlers if they can finish this one out. And they appear to be in control as we wind down toward 5 minutes to go in this one.
Now, new quarterback in there.
Change at quarterback.
Young freshman Luke Peterman.
Yep. Nearby Tustin, Foothill High School. And so Malachi Martinez, you would have to believe his day is done. Finishes 20 of 33, 207 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions. And I think going back to what we talked about coming out of the half, this was a step up in terms of the level of defense that he was facing today. A couple of moments where maybe he made some questionable decisions, but overall I think passing grade here from Malachi Martinez, and the Rustlers well on their way to what looks like their 2nd victory in as many weeks. Peterman, under pressure, tries to dump it short, incomplete. He was looking for Javon Williams, and now it's 3rd down.
I think this is more of a team win.
Yeah. Well, listen, it's not always going to be rolling up huge numbers and just having your way.
Yeah. Sometimes it's, hey.
Yeah, there's some other teams that can play. And,
and there's, the ground and pound and the maturation of Malachi Martinez has been on display in front of us. You saw a young man who had a great game last week against a struggling opponent. Today, Palomar came in, and these guys came to play. Malachi's been hit. He's had 2 interceptions, and he's still pushing.
Yeah, I would say, other than the 2 interceptions, Martinez's decision-making has been very good in this game. Haven't seen a lot of throws into coverage. He's been disciplined, gone with the football where you'd like to see him do it, running this offense without giving away anything. When you've got a great defense, that's what you need your quarterback to do. Really just those 2 throws, I think, are the 2 throws on the day that Martinez would like to have back, just trying to do a little too much.
Absolutely. And great to have a defense that contributes, especially with points.
Yeah, it was this Rustler defense that not only has stifled this Comet offense all day, but perhaps struck the biggest blow in the game with the pick 6 by Xavier Streeter that turned a 10-3 game into a 16-3 game. That made it 2 scores. Then you get the short field and the touchdown pass to Savao that really largely put it away for the Rustlers, who lead at 22-3 with 4:27 to go. Fishburne back to his left, now going to tuck it and run. Out past the 25, hit and dropped at the 27.
That's a durable kid. He's getting hit all over the field, and still no sliding. He's punching it in. Might be time to teach him to slide.
I mean, no matter how many points this Rustler team is allowing, they're going to hit you either way. I mean, this is a physical football team, especially on the defensive side of the ball. First and 10 after the run by Fishburne. Running room on the left side. Another solid gain. Armstrong with the carry out to the 33. 6-yard gain, 2nd down and 4 coming up for the Comets. And the Comets, I think, to a certain degree, waving the white flag here late in the 4th. They'll continue to play, but content to take their time at least somewhat on offense. Armstrong with the catch out to the 40 as Fishburne completes for a 1st down.
Looks like there's a flag on the play. A little laundry flew on this one.
Out in the backfield where you might see holding. Let's see the call from referee Daniel Mina. Personal foul. And this is going to go against Golden West. So 15 yards coming for the Comets after the completion to Armstrong. This will move it into Golden West territory at the 45-yard line.
Yeah, the penalty's on number 93, Wesley Hoke, the freshman out of Rockland.
And you talked about teachable moments before, and you got a 19-point lead. And, your defense is playing well, and you really don't want to stop the clock and give them 15 yards on top of that. if you're in this situation.
Absolutely. You don't want to give them any opportunity to even start making a comeback in any way. You want to be able to put the huckleberry in the coffin and call it a day.
A rope from Fishburne as he completes.
And that young man's not left. He's not done competing.
Logan Loudy with the reception. The Rustlers sitting back in his zone, and Fishburne finds Loudy. And the Comets on the move as much as they have been all day, but Fishburne going to be sacked.
And that's big number 47.
Yeah, that is
Brock
Hudson
Yinley.
Letterman, right? Yeah, I have Hudson Letterman.
I have Hudson, yeah.
So Hudson Letterman comes in and gets the sack, and the Rustlers really starting to pile up the sacks.
The freshman from Huntington Beach out of Edison High School. Big D lineman.
7 sacks in the game for the Rustlers. First timeout, and it's the Rustlers who will take it with 2:28 remaining in the ball game. 22-3, Golden West on top here on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Coast Sports Network. Second and 19 after the sack by Letterman. And actually, that is the 8th sack of the game for the Rustlers. Loudy working to his left, dragged down after a gain of a couple. That's a terrific job in the open field by Jaden Jackson to pick up Loudy before he can gain any more yardage. A gain of 3 leaves a 3rd and 15. In what figures to be 4-down territory for the Comets as we wind under 2 minutes to go. Fishburne throws over the middle, completes to Ayala. Late flag comes in. Ayala tripped up at the 33. That leaves a 4th and 5, but let's wait and see what the flag is. It came in the Palomar backfield, and it might have been, just saw the tail end on that replay. Some kind of late hit, little extracurriculars at the end of that play. Well, the Rustlers have already had 1 personal foul here on this drive. Let's see what the call is here. This one looks as though it is going to work against Palomar. So the personal foul turns a 4th and 5 into a 4th and 20. And a reminder, at the conclusion of the game, we will head down to the field and have a post-game interview before we wrap things up here from Golden West with the Rustlers looking to move it to 2-0 on the young season. Ogles back in punt formation. Line drive kick. Inside the 5, a flag comes in. I believe that one got into the end zone. They tried to save it. And we'll have a quick official huddle up. Ogles 11 punts on the day. That takes you back to the days of Boot and Rick Tootin. He has been busy. So the initial call was a touchback, but this appears as though it's going to go against Golden West.
Number 25. That penalty is declined. The result of the play is a touchback. First down, Golden West.
So the penalty declined. And Golden West will take over with 1:11 remaining in the game. And the Rustlers will just run it out. Keep it on the ground on first down. Out to the 25-yard line. Jet Davis on the carry.
Is the am I on?
55 seconds as the clock moves. Palomar going to elect to not make any effort to stop the clock. Should see another play or two. And again, Anthony Dombrowski has headed down to the field. And we will take you down there shortly after the conclusion of the ball game. They fake to Davis. Read option. Rustlers with a first down and more. And the Rustlers fired up as Uwe Ale runs the read option and finds running room on the right side. That's as big a play on the ground as either team has had today. And this is well executed. As Ale finds some running room. Does a good job splitting a couple of tacklers, taking it all the way into Palomar territory. They'll stop the clock just long enough to move the chains down to 26 seconds, and the Rustlers shouldn't have to run another play if they don't want to. That's a good job. Ale breaking a couple of tackles before he is finally brought down at the 45-yard line of Palomar. Well, maybe with that one carry. Well, he might be the leading rusher on the day. He's close. 29-yard run. And now victory formation for the Rustlers. And that should do it. Golden West, a 22-3 win. They move to 2-0 on the season. Palomar drops to 1-1 with the loss. We'll step aside, rejoin you with an interview down on the field. You are watching Rustler football on SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Coast Sports Network. Stick around.
Awesome. Thank you guys.
Your game, brother.
Thank you.
You guys look good every year.
Thanks.
Can you just have me? I got it. Final score 22-3. The Rustlers with the win over Palomar, moving to 2-0 on the season. As we take you back through some of the highlights of the Rustler win, Palomar drops to 1-1 with the loss here today. Just very quickly, next week Palomar back in action at home against Southwestern. Golden West takes to the road for the first time. They will travel up north to Bakersfield to take on the Renegades at Bakersfield that next Saturday at 4 o'clock before the Rustlers return home to take on defending SCFA champions Riverside City College, as Jake Retzlaff will return to Golden West College. We will have that game for you 2 weeks from today. That's high noon at Riverside and Golden West, and we look forward to having you join us then. Do want to say thank you to a number of people. First of all, the people here at Golden West, President Tim McGrath, Danny Johnson, the Athletic Director, Kim Blair, Athletic Facilitator, Tim Bremen, Athletic Operations, Andrew Lapati, Athletic Equipment Manager, and the rest of the athletic support staff here at Golden West College. And, of course, our team, Director Lorenzo Osuna, Camera Angelo Solis, Andrew Stephen, Matthew Mateos, of course, our friends at Coast Sports Network, Anthony Dembrowski, and Mike Moore, and finally Chaz Vivi helping us out on stats as well. The Rustlers moved to 2-0 on the season. They were impressive, a 22-3 win here today from Golden West College. For everybody here at SoCalCollegeSports.com and the Coast Sports Network, thanks so much for joining us. So long, everybody.
Touchdown, Rustlers! Malachi Martinez finds a man over the middle. Sarmiento will take